So I recently teased a crazy behind the scenes story for Sam Raimi's Darkman, one of the most underrated superhero movies ever made. And this is one of the most bonkers behind the scenes stories about a film that you'll hear. This movie came out in 1990 and Raimi wanted to make a comic book style superhero film. And after not being able to get the rights to The Shadow, he made this awesome, twisted, ultra-violent original movie. But here's the insane part. We almost didn't get the version of Darkman we know today. Raimi finished this cut, brought it to Universal, and the studio freaked out after test screenings weren't going so great. So what did they do? They kicked Raimi out of the editing room. They hired their own editor, Bud S. Smith, who came in under one condition. Nobody bothers me while I cut this movie. Smith turned in an 85-minute version, slashing Raimi's film to pieces. And every time they tested this cut, the scores got worse. It was brutal, and Universal was panicking. Meanwhile, Danny Elfman, who wrote the score, threatened to take his name off the movie because the studio was butchering Raimi's vision. Finally, Universal, screw it. We're done. We're locking Smith's cut. And this is where things get awesome. Raimi and producer Rob Tapert weren't having it. They pulled off the ultimate act of rebellion, a secret mission against the studio. Over one weekend, 48 hours straight, Raimi, Tapert, and editor Bob Murawski secretly re-edited the film back into something that was closer to Raimi's original vision. Tapert said the studio locked the picture on Friday night at 5 p.m. We were incredibly disheartened and dispirited, and Sam's present editor said, "There's a much better movie than what we are locking right now." So the decision was made that we would re-edit the movie. We spent 48 hours basically recutting the entire movie, restoring things we thought were important. We added 9 minutes back in, things we really liked that the preview audiences would recoil from. But that's what it was meant to do. We locked it and didn't tell anybody. By the time Universal found out, it was too late. They were furious. Tapert said Universal came to watch it after the mix, and there was this giant outcry, but there was nothing to be done. The negative had been cut. Critic screenings were 48 hours later. Bob and I advocated very strongly for the deception. Sam, left to his own, probably would have not done that. He is not that kind of guy, but I am. Now, the movie didn't become a massive blockbuster, but it made $48 million on a $16 million budget and earned great reviews. Unfortunately, it still wasn't Raimi's full vision. And it's a story that he doesn't even like to talk about. But knowing that story makes me love this film even more. Now I just want to see the original Raimi cut. Can we start that campaign? #DarkmanRaimiCut.